All right. We are at Rocky Glen OHV Park in Rockford, Illinois.
Really wet on the way here, so there we go.
Today, it is a really wet day, raining all over southern Wisconsin, Illinois. Trying to get some practice in before the race next weekend at Syracuse. Last round. There we go. Last round of the District 16 off-road is next weekend. So trying to get some practice in. Every time I'm here, I just go over this little intermediate track. They call it the top track now. It used to be called the intermediate track. It is so slick. It's kind of odd. Every time I'm here, it seems like we get more and more mulch. I don't understand that. I don't know why we wouldn't just throw down some sand, kind of let soak through a little bit instead of just getting mulch. Not a big fan of the mulch. I think it's less. I think it moves around a little bit more and it's less predictable. So I'm not the biggest fan of the mulch. Also, with the mulch on camera, it's almost impossible for you to see whether or not there's actually a line there or not. There is a lot of ruts that do form as we go into this video, but you can't see them because one, the camera gets wet, and two, the mulch is almost impossible. Almost impossible to see. As you slide up the face of that little jump right there. Because of that, as the video goes on, I'm actually getting a little sideways. I'm actually gonna roll a lot of that stuff because it gets so slick. In the corner on the gas, almost high side again. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to post commentary videos as well as non-commentary, so then people that like the non-commentary can watch that too, and then they don't have to worry about me talking for the writing. But I did want to say that with the commentary videos, you're going to get a little extra, so a little backstory, a little knowledge. So today I'm actually running my setup, my suspension settings for the race coming up at Syracuse, which is almost all sand. So my front fork's actually quite stiff, and then my rear shock is at the setting. So this is what is known as the advanced track, or what it used to be known as the advanced track. It might be known as the bottom track now. But this track is rough. I'm gonna do 2 laps on it, but it is rough. That big tabletop there, that is so steep. You can't tell on the camera, but that is a steep jump. And And as we know, I am afraid of steep jumps. They're what I will say, Rocky Glen is good at changing their tracks. Every time I've been there this year, they have changed them. I'm here about every couple weeks or so, and they have done a very good job of changing their tracks to make them, not always the same. See, this is all mulch. This entire thing right here is all mulch. Look at all the rollers. They're not spaced out evenly. They are all different shapes and sizes. You'll see on this next lap what happens when you get off a little bit. I understand why they do the mulch. It's so to prevent all this water here. But honestly, the water doesn't happen that bad if you group the track more often. I will say Rocky Glen does need to group the tracks a little bit more instead of just throwing mulch down. I understand it's probably an employment thing, but it's just if you want people to come, maybe you should group the tracks a little bit better. See, wouldn't it be awesome if I just like scrubbed over that whole thing? I think that'd be so cool, but I don't have that skill or speed at all. So I'm gonna go outside here, uh, outside, and immediately I'm off rhythm. Can't see, but they're big pockets right in the face of those rollers. So I try to move a little bit more left, and that worked out for a little bit. And it's just the those rollers got like big pockets in the faces of them. So I'm gonna go back to the truck here, kind of reset after the little warm up that we just had. So leaving my truck, I have decided that I'm not gonna go back to the bottom track. It's too mulchy. It's too whipped out. So we're just gonna stay on this top track. This right here is me doing a 20-minute moto. This is gonna be my first like sight lap type thing. Just kind of see how the track is because it has gotten a little bit more wet, and as you can tell, it's coming down right now, and it's gonna get worse. And I just wanted to say that I'm not gonna go to the bottom track because it got really rough. Right here, there's a lot of braking bumps, and it's almost all braking bumps right at the end of that. So what I noticed with my getting sideways again, what I noticed with my front fork, because I'm running it stiff, trying to get used to that for the race coming up. There's a lot of harshness in my front end and my bars specifically. So not blaming my setup because a guy that is better than me, say a guy that does off road like uh, Cody Webb, or even someone that does GNCC like Stuart Baylor, they would have no problem with my setup. So, not blaming my setup, but if you want a little bit of tech tips, what what you would do is kind of open up that rebound. If it's real stiff, open up that rebound so that you don't have so much in the rear or coming back up. So we're gonna do a dead start here, and I missed first. Okay. So from there, now we're gonna do 20 minutes. That's cut down for you guys, so you don't have to sit through me going through 20 minutes. Right as we start, you can tell it is coming down. That's a good little outside. I did that. What is this turn here? Look at this. Okay, so we got this big outside, right? And then like that turn itself is like 40 feet worth of track. What is going on? Let's make it all one. Let's make it all one width. Then we don't have to worry about this. So right there, bigger bumps than you can see on camera. But it's that right there. You want to open up the rebound a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 clicks, and it should help. So when you're coming through the stroke, it won't be in a compression stroke and kind of stack up on you, kind of build on you. I like this inside line here. That's kind of fun. And right here, I go a little wider, and I have like no trust in my front end because of how slick it was, and I hadn't done that line all day. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm riding so slow. So I'm gonna roll this. Kind of like how they go over walls. Reason for that is because that got so slick up the face. All the other jumps seem to be fine, but that one in particular, I don't know if it was the dirt, if it was a little bit more of a black dirt, but it was so slick up the face. So I was just rolling. I don't really mind riding in the mud or in the puddles or anything. I just wish that there was less mulch. I just don't really like the mulch, especially right now, as you can see on the camera. It's getting wet, and with that, my goggles are drenched. And I'm wearing roll-offs right now, and I have like at this point, I think I have like 1 or 2 holes left, and I don't realize it. Because of how wet the goggles got, I just had to keep going. So what I'm gonna do coming up here is I'm just gonna throw the goggles off. Like I'm just gonna take them off because I can't see anything. There we go. Goggles come off. I can't see anything. We're gonna finish the moto. At this point, I think I have like maybe 5 minutes left. Maybe 10 minutes left. I'm not really sure. Inside line to inside line. I'm feeling it now. It feels so much better. I can actually see right there. There's some braking bumps going into that corner. If you ever watch, there's a good video on AJ Ken Zero's YouTube channel. It's Hunter Lawrence describing how to pull, and that might be something to check out because he says don't sit until after all the braking bumps. That's when you can sit. So I'm trying to do that in the future. You see me kind of do that as we're going through the rest of this moto here. And a little bit ago on that long straightaway, that with the slight curve, you see me tilt my head down. That's because the rain was going right into my eyes. So I'm trying to use the visor as a little bit of protection against my face. I like that outside to this inside. That was fun. And it's a good inside rut. Look at that. Kind of even get a little closer to that tire. I think that's a little bit better of a line. Let's see if I. Okay, I'm standing into that this time. Now I'm sitting. That's better. Although there's some acceleration bumps coming out of there, so it's rough either way. roll that. Come through here. All right, so the rest of that footage was almost unusable because of how wet the camera got. So we're just gonna move over to, this is me going out the last time of the day. You notice that my sleeves are now a different color. They're not purple. I'm wearing a raincoat now. I also had to switch gloves because of how wet my other gloves got. So, uh, tip to self, continue to bring more gloves. Riding down this main drag here just to go to the trails. They're kind of in the back, so we gotta ride through all this stuff. See, the puddles are getting real bad. I don't need goggles on anymore. I always bring extra pairs, but because I don't wanna, I didn't want to use them for just the one ride. I said, screw it. Let's just go without goggles. So you see all this stuff here. All this, all this stuff with the buildings and stuff. What that is, they are doing like a scary night. So you'll see right here to the right, there's like a house. And it's like they're doing a scary night ride for Halloween. That's coming up soon. I like this little trail here. And I always try to make things a little bit more technical than they have to be, so I get to practice being technical. I gotta work. I gotta work on speed too. So it's real slick here, and to the right, it's like a ledge. So I wheelie up onto the ledge, and I get stuck in the mud because my feet are sliding.
Oh, I got stuck in the mud.
A tip to people. So when it's muddy like this back here, it's so slick because what happens is it gets caught in your tire. So the mud gets caught in your tire, and what happens is the tire can't clear it because you're not going fast enough. So you might think to yourself, "Oh, the uh, I shouldn't go through the puddles." But almost what you should do is go through the puddle because what's going to happen is that tire is going to kind of clear the mud for you. So again, we're on this little access road here, this big loop, the main loop as they would call it. This is kind of fun. I see a lot of families just riding in the loop, four-wheelers, side-by-sides. I'm looking at these big sand mounds going, oh, I wish I could ride over some of that, but I know it's too wet. Don't want to get stuck in the sand, especially when I'm already drenched. I don't really want to do that. These trails are so fun. They got like a supercross going like in the middle of the trail. So it's like a staircase down and up. Like I'm feeling good on how technical I can be sometimes. But I think the biggest thing I gotta work on is just raw speed, especially in the races. That's gonna be one thing I'm gonna try to do here for this upcoming race, just speed. That's what I'm working on. Because I think I got the technical side down. Not perfect, I'd say. Obviously, I need, but more than the speed. So that was like a little loop in the trail. So we're back to here now. Wheelie over the puddle. That feels good. You always can do something cool. I wish I had a cameraman that just was always in front of me, so like, oh, see when I do cool stuff. Maybe I wish I didn't have a cameraman because a lot of the time stuff isn't cool. I tip over, flopping on the ground like a fish. Yeah, I really like trails like this. This is fun. It's another thing in this stuff to pick lines because you don't know how deep some of these puddles are. So yeah, it's okay to ride through the puddles, but like right here, it could be some of those puddles could be 6 inches deep. They could be a foot deep. Who knows? So I'm gonna go in here, go through some of these trails, and these trails are real rocky, and they're a little bit different. They're a little tighter. Also, these trails over here are super confusing. So like right here, you're gonna see me go in the out. So don't be like me. Don't go in the out. But watch this. Coming up here. Oh, there's an arrow that says go straight. So how did I go in the out? But later on, I'm going straight. So I'm going forward. So I don't know what's going on. They got to figure out their trail systems a little bit, kind of make them less confusing. Super happy with the bike skill. Look at me wheeling over like holes like that, not hopping. I'm super happy with the bike skill that I've developed this year, and I want to keep progressing forward. This is the little sand area that I like. After riding at Derek Hughes, this looks like a joke, but it's not. There's a first look at the gator tails. Review on my website.
That was a little gnarly. So drenched, as well as super muddy. Guy on a KX 250, super clean. It looks like it's brand new. All right, thank you for watching.